Hi everybody, we're now on page 854, which is the last page of this lesson. Okay, let's look at the problem solving number 6. The oldest tennis tournament is played at Wimbledon in London. Describe the attributes of the shape of the tennis court and then classify it. So this is the tennis court here, sort of this orange. We're going to talk about what are the attributes of this shape and then say what it is. When they say classify it, they want you to say the name of it. Well, we already know the name of it. Let's do that first. This is a rectangle. So let's go ahead and write that down. Shape is a rectangle. R-E-C-T-A-N-G-L-E. Now, what do we know about rectangles? Well, we know that in this case, the lines are the same length on the top and the bottom and the sides. So we're going to say that the opposite sides are the same length. You can write that down. And not only are the opposite sides the same length, but the opposite sides are parallel. So we have three things. This is called a rectangle. Opposite sides the same length, opposite sides are parallel, and there's actually one more thing we could say. We could say that there are 4 right angles here. Each of these corners is a perfect corner. This particular figure has 4 right angles. You can add that in as well. Okay, number 7, Hillary bought an eraser like the one shown. Classify the quadrilateral formed by the side of the eraser. Again, classify means say the name of this shape. And if you go back to our previous page on 853, this is the same shape as number 5. Do you remember the name of that shape? It's kind of like a rectangle pushed on its side. It's called a parallelogram. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L-O-G-R-A-M, parallelogram. Okay, good job. Now let's look at number 8. Now they're going to describe a figure and we're going to have to figure out what that is and draw it. So let's see what they say first. It says, Kayla is thinking of a quadrilateral. Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel. All 4 sides are the same length. That's the big key here. All 4 sides are the same length, and there are 4 right angles. So the sides are parallel, both the top, bottom, left, right. All the sides are the same length, and they have 4 right angles. Do you know what that is? It's a square. So what you're going to draw is a square here. All 4 lines, the same length, 4 right angles, all sides parallel. Okay, number 9, it says circle the quadrilaterals that have all the attributes of a rectangle. Well, first of all, we have to recall what are the attributes of a rectangle. The characteristics are both pairs have equal lengths. Both pairs are parallel, and there are 4 right angles. So we need a figure that has both pairs of the same length, both pairs are parallel, and 4 right angles. Well, there's only one of the choices here that has all 4 right angles. Do you remember what that is? It's actually the same figure we draw up here in number 8. The only figure here that has 4 right angles is a square. So we're going to circle square. Some of these other figures do have some of the attributes, but none of them, parallelogram, rhombus, or a trapezoid, have 4 right angles. Okay, now let's look at the next one, number 10. It says circle the quadrilaterals that have all the attributes of a parallelogram. So now again, we have to recall, what are the attributes of a parallelogram? A parallelogram has both pairs equal lengths and the opposite sides are parallel. So again, both sides are equal lengths. The opposite sides are parallel. Let's go through each one of them and see whether those are true for each of these other figures. Does a rectangle have both sides equal lengths? Yes. Are the opposite sides parallel? Yes, they are. So let's go ahead and circle it. Does a rhombus have both pairs equal length? Yes. Are the opposite sides parallel? Yes. Remember, a rhombus is like a square that's been tilted. So it has equal length sides, top and bottom, left and right, and both of the sides are parallel. So you can go ahead and circle that one. Does a trapezoid have both pairs equal length? No, it doesn't. Remember, the trapezoid was like the one in the Eiffel Tower. It's kind of a strange shape. Those lines are not parallel and they're not the same length. So we're not going to circle that one. You can draw a line through it. And the last one, a square. Does a square have both pairs of equal length? Yes, it does. Are the opposite sides parallel? They are. So we're going to go ahead and circle that one. So all three, rectangle, rhombus, and the square, have the same attributes of a parallelogram. What separates a rectangle and a square from a parallelogram and a rhombus, it's the right angles. The parallelogram and the rhombus do not have right angles, those perfect corners. Rectangles and squares do. Okay, the last one, 11. How can I classify quadrilaterals using their attributes? So you can look at things as we've been talking about in the last couple pages. Do the figures have right angles? Are the sides the same length? Are the sides parallel? Those are the sort of the attributes we've been looking at as we compare and contrast these different figures. Okay, very good. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to do the My Homework pages, which are the next two pages in this lesson. It's 855 and 856. I really want you to use the pages we've done together in this lesson to help you refer back to them. And then after you're done, I'm going to provide you with the answers that you can check the work to make sure that you've done it correctly. And if you have, you can kind of check it, put a C if it's correct. And if it isn't correct, go ahead and make the corrections right on the homework. That'll help you to sort of self-assess your understanding of this lesson. Okay, that's it. We'll see you again for the next lesson in this chapter on geometry. Have a great day, everybody.